At long last, the progress report of the Ad-hoc Committee on the compensation of the Kenyan victims of the 1998 bombing of the U.S. Embassy in Nairobi. Mr. Speaker, sir, the Senate Ad-hoc Committee on the compensation of the Kenyan victims of 1998 bombing of the United States Embassy in Nairobi was established on 29th June 2023, but held its first meeting on the 18th of July 2023. The committee was able to meet with the victims of the bomb last tragedy, their lawyers, the next of kin of the deceased victims, and the groups representing various. Mr. Speaker, can I be heard in silence, please? Mr. Speaker. Mbona mnapiga kelele sana?
Who are you addressing now? Senator Kavindu?
I've called you, Mr. Speaker, so that I can be heard in silence.
Prosecute your matter.
Yes, but can I be heard in silence, Mr. Speaker, please? The noises around are confusing me.
Is reasonable. Proceed.
Thank you. The committee also attended the victim prayer on the 5th of August 2023 and on the 25th commemorandum of the bomb blasts of the 7th August 2023 at the August 7th at Memorial Park. Honorable Speaker, sir, the committee met with the cabinet secretaries of the Ministry of Health, Ministry of Labor, and Ministry and Social Protection, and the Ministry of Foreign and Diaspora Affairs, and the Ministry of Interior and National Administration. The committee was also able to meet with the National Council for Persons with Disability. Mr. Speaker, sir, from the interactions with the above stakeholders, the committee gave the following directions to the ministries. The Ministry of Health conducts medical assessment of the surviving victims of the 1998 U.S. bomb of the U.S. Embassy in Nairobi and submit the report to the, of the assessment to the committee in order to assist the committee build its case on compensation of the said victims. That the Ministry of Labor and Social Protection and the National Council of Persons with Disability undertake registration for the survivors with disabilities. 3, the Cabinet Secretary in charge of Foreign Affairs push the matter of compensation at the cabinet level. And 4, the Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Interior and National Administration develop regulation to operationalize the compensation of the victims of terrorist funds, which was formed in 2012. Mr. Speaker, sir, though the committee was unable to secure appointment with the U.S. Embassy in Kenya, and the U.S. Congress, Senator Manso and I were able to attend the National Prayer Breakfasts at Washington, D.C., where we were able to meet various senators and congressmen and put forward our case on the compensation of Kenyan victims of 1998 bombing of the U.S. Embassy in Kenyan chairman of the committee, especially where we were able to meet with Senator Chris Coons, the chairperson of the U.S. Senate Foreign Relations Subcommittee on the African affairs, and he agreed to the meeting of the two committees to discuss compensation on the Kenyan victims. Honorable Speaker, sir, Senator Coons, as the chairperson of this very important committee of the US Senate, is very instrumental in the proposal of the Ad-hoc committee in the amending of the Justice for United States Victims of State-Sponsored Terrorists Act 34 USC 11-20144, which provides for the establishment of the administration of the U.S. Victims of State-Sponsored Terrorist Fund, the U.S. VSST Fund, to provide compensation to certain U.S. persons who were injured in acts of terrorists, the state-sponsored terrorists, including Kenyans, victims of the 1998 U.S. bombing in Nairobi. Mr. Speaker, sir, within the remaining time of to the expiry of the mandate of the committee, the following up is following up with the following institutions in order to assist the Kenyan victims in 1998 bombing of the United States of America Embassy in Nairobi, who have not been compensated to date. One, the Ministry of Health on the provision of subsidized medical care for the survivors injured during the 1998 bombing in the U.S. Embassy of Nairobi. Two, the Ministry of Labor and Social Protection on the assessment of the registration of the survivors with a disability in the 1998 bombing with the National Council of Persons with Disabilities. Three, the Ministry of Interior and National Administration on the formulation of regulations to implement the Section 49 of the Provisions of Terrorist Act 2012, which operationalize the compensation of the victims of the terrorist fund. Appropriate recommendations shall be made by the committee on this matter in its final report. Mr. Speaker, sir, in the progress report, the committee recommends that the Cabinet Secretary in charge of Foreign and Diaspora Affairs secure appointment for the committee to meet with the members of the United States of America State Foreign Relations Subcommittee on African Affairs to discuss the committee's proposals of amending the Justice of United States of Victims of the State-Sponsored Terrorists Act, which provides for the establishment of and administration of the United States Victims of State-Sponsored Terrorist Fund to include Kenya victims of the 1998 bombing of the United States Embassy in Nairobi. The Cabinet Secretary is to provide bi-monthly updates on the progress made in securing the appointment. The committee intends to appreciate. The committee extends its appreciation to parties who volunteered submissions and contributions to the resolutions of this matter. I also wish to express my appreciation to my fellow senators for their contribution in this matter. The committee thank the Office of the Speaker of the Senate and the Clerk of the Senate for the support extended to the committee and the Committee of Liaison in the execution of its mandate. With these many remarks, I wish to move the motion and request that the House adopt the progress report and the Ad-hoc committee on the compensation of the Kenyan victims of 1998 bombing of the United States Embassy in Nairobi, tabled in the Senate on the Thursday, 2nd May 2022. I now ask Senator Manso to second. Thank you.
Senator Ndani Manzo.